90% of leftover women have cohabiting partners every day. Their sexual value makes them feel safe and secure in being single. It's time to wake up. Born in 1989, 36 years old and unmarried, I am increasingly feeling that older leftover women are truly considered cheap. Especially women over the age of 35, they are blatantly disliked. The main reasons for the dislike are, can a woman at that age still have children? How many can she still have? Even if she can, she would be classified as an older pregnant woman. In the eyes of reality, a woman's age determines her value. Being older is equated with being cheap, as if rational value and achievements can only be tied to childbirth. So once a woman passes 35, she becomes easily bound by her age. From a man's perspective, a woman's greatest value lies in her reproductive ability. What is your opinion on older leftover women? Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers from around the world is a huge source of inspiration for us. I'm 28 this year, single, unmarried, and have no children. To be honest, in the past couple of years, friends around me got married one after another. I had a really strong desire to get married. I just wanted to find a guy right away, and then get into a marriage with someone suitable. At that time, my parents were also pushing me hard. It's mainly because of my job. I'm a kindergarten teacher. The people I'm around are mostly parents and kids. At work, I'm a lively, outgoing girl, very easygoing. But after work, I just don't feel like socializing. I cook for myself, hang out with my girlfriends. I'm always spending time with girls. So my social circle is very limited. I don't really meet any guys. And I don't have access to any. Around last year, I kind of lost the desire to get married. I felt like maybe it's not that I don't want to marry, it's just that I haven't met the right person yet. And I started to think, maybe marriage isn't a must. As for my parents, now they've slowly become kind of disappointed. They don't pressure me as much anymore. They've reached a point where they just don't care much. They've stopped bringing it up. Honestly, even now, I still feel a bit anxious about my age. After all, I'm 28, many girls around me are already married. And every time this topic comes up with my parents, they say, "Don't rush, you're still young, don't create anxiety for yourself." Sometimes I really think, maybe it's not that I don't want to marry, it's just that my social circle is too limited. There are no guys at all now. So tell me, what should I really do? Is it my problem? I don't know if you all feel this kind of anxiety too. Blind dates are a complete social scam, because 90% of older leftover women are cohabiting every night. Many older leftover women today are unmarried. But unmarried does not mean they don't have boyfriends. Not having a boyfriend doesn't mean they don't have friends. Not having friends doesn't mean they don't have one-night stands. Women cannot endure abstinence, that is the truth. If cohabitation and second marriages are no different, then what's the point of blind dates? This marriage certificate is only useful for property distribution. 90% of older leftover women are single and go on blind dates every day hoping to get married. But that doesn't mean there are no men at their side at night, because their cohabitation life is like running a fish pond in solo queue mode. In this mode, fish keep coming to pay for single visits. They just taste the fish feed given by the leftover woman. Give a little in material things, maybe a transfer or a gift, and sneak away. The fish pond needs replenishing. A woman gets anxious not because of love, but because of her cohabitation lifestyle. More precisely, because her sexual value is about to disappear. Before losing her sexual value, she rushes to find a man to entrust her life to. If a woman has no faith, no family upbringing, it's very hard for her to restrain herself. Women are emotional, creatures who follow feelings. Emotions and feelings, in a way, are also physiological and psychological desires. Try to imagine if you were a woman. If you're hungry, would you feel cold? If you're horny, would you feel cold? The more a woman values passion and feelings, the less likely she is to feel cold, which means her private life is bound to be messy. Men will feel cold because sex has a cost for them. Women won't feel cold, because when a woman wants sex, she can easily get it. Most women, when emotionally triggered, subconsciously wish for a man to wall slam them. Gentlemen reason with them. Scumbags go straight to action, direct wall slam. There is no other way. What is a wall slam? Wall slam means XXX. It's the most efficient way to release emotion. As the ancients said, one round of sex can wipe out all grudges. That's the logic. But no man wants to stay long-term with a woman who frequently has emotional outbursts. Because the emotional toll is too exhausting. The more emotionally unstable the woman, the more frequently she changes boyfriends. In short, leftover women are lonely in bed. Leftover men want to save money. Leftover men may be poor, may want to save, but for leftover women, whether there's a man next to them at night is uncertain. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me. After listening to my story, you might not feel so anxious anymore. I was born in 1984, 41 years old, unmarried and childless. I still have a mortgage. I bought my apartment in September 2017. At that time, I watched the housing prices rise from 7,000, 8,000 yuan, 945 $1.08 strings, all the way up toward 20,000 yuan, $2.700. I felt very strongly then that if I didn't buy now, I might really not be able to afford it in the future. So my mom bought a small apartment in a slightly remote area in our city. At the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019, I was working in gaming. Then in our eastern district, a new store opened on the 4th floor. Everyone knows that after 2020, the economic situation kept getting worse. Last year, I was under a lot of pressure repaying the loan. So I consulted with a real estate agent. I asked, how much could I sell this apartment for? The agent told me around 600,000 yuan, $81. But back then, just the down payment I had paid was over 700,000 yuan, $94. And I still owed 600,000 yuan, $81 to the bank. He suggested I list it for 600,000 yuan, $81,000. But buyers might still bargain, plus all the other costs. When I calculated it all, I realized that even after selling the apartment, I would still owe money to the bank. I was completely devastated. I just couldn't understand how all the money I earned through hard work in the first half of my life had completely gone down the drain. I'm not a rich second generation. I'm just a very ordinary girl who came from a rural village. That money was earned with every manicure I did. With every eyebrow I shaped. That was my blood and sweat money. So last year, I really couldn't figure it out. At one point, I even had dark thoughts. But looking back now, I think I'm actually pretty strong. I pulled myself out of that anxious and depressed state with my own strength. Let me share a quote with everyone. It's a line that kept encouraging me through that time. Don't feel anxious ahead of time about something that's still 2 hours away or 8 kilometers out. If something is destined to happen, we can't stop it. Anxiety ahead of time only tortures ourselves. Back then, my mindset was amazing. I told myself I don't want any of this anymore. I was born in 1991, 34 years old, still single and unmarried. Everyone says I'm just making up jokes to get views. But what is there to fake? I'm not even an internet celebrity. I just want to document my thoughts and feelings. Lately, I've been going on a few blind dates, off and on, but none of them led anywhere. It felt like there was no spark on either side, no real interest. And then there are those guys who want to invite you to their place right after just meeting you. Just a bunch of nonsense. Feels like that motivation to find someone after the new year is completely gone. Now I'm back to lying flat again. Honestly, there are just no resources around me for dating anymore. Now I'm anxious about my looks. I got a Botox injection because of that anxiety, but it seems like my face turned stiff. If I really can't find anyone, I'll just stay single, for whatever. Don't be fooled anymore. There are 100 million unmarried women in China who can't find a boyfriend. Even worse, half of all marriages in China are ending in divorce. Just a few days ago, on March 8th, International Women's Day, which was originally a holiday to commemorate women and to fight for equal rights. But I found that many of my female friends ended up arguing with their husbands or boyfriends. The reason was that their partners didn't buy them gifts. Why can other people's husbands buy cosmetics, handbags, rings, and send red envelopes of 14 yuan, $178? Women's Day has turned into Goddess Day, or Queen's Day. This is how capitalism is destroying women with flattery. Before you know it, you're left with nothing. No money, no love. This is not an exaggeration. The idea of male superiority is now beyond what we imagined. So many people don't have the fate of a princess but act like one. Capitalism keeps telling women, you're a fairy, a goddess, a queen. You must treat yourself well. Spend while you're young. If you don't spend now, you'll get old. If he loves you, he'll buy you the best things. So on every holiday, women ask their boyfriends or husbands for the most expensive and showy gifts. Some show off lipsticks, handbags, all kinds of gold and silver jewelry. Only then does the holiday feel happy. If the gift isn't big enough or expensive enough, it means the love isn't deep enough. Phrases like, a woman must have her own house, otherwise she'll have no sense of security, have pushed many men to work themselves to death, struggling for a lifetime. The higher capitalism lifts women, the more it stimulates you to willingly spend for the sake of capitalism. Don't have money? No problem. Capitalism has money. It'll offer you a loan. So many women fall into capitalism's trap, their lives filled with fantasy. But when reality doesn't match the dream, women start to complain that their men don't make money, don't understand life. They shift all the blame onto men, calling them scumbags, saying there's no good man left. But when your wallet gets thinner, when your loans pile up, when you're deep in debt, your marriage starts to crack and gradually collapses. This is capitalism, twisting women's values and views on love and marriage, step by step. After watching too many dramas, after too much media propaganda, they really think they're goddesses or queens. They're only 1.5 meters tall, yet think only a 1.8 meter tall rich and handsome guy is good enough. They earn 2,800 yuan, $380 a month, but demand a man with a car, a house, and savings. In this kind of atmosphere, no matter how hard men try, they can't meet women's expectations. So many women miss out on men who are actually good for marriage and end up wasting their precious youth. Before they know it, they're left behind. Just imagine, when you're old, when you have no money and no partner, and your parents are also aging, who will take care of you in your later years? Please don't wait until you're lonely and regret everything. Set your values straight, weigh your true capabilities, no matter how much woke wisdom or motivational words you hear. As adults, we must have the ability to discern. Wishing all my friends can find peace soon and meet someone good, even if it's just simple meals and plain living. A warm family life, isn't that also a kind of happiness? Don't ever feel ashamed of being called a woman, because only by being content can you find lasting happiness. Do you know what the final destination is for older leftover women in Shenzhen? There is a woman like this. She was born in 1981, now she's 43 years old. A university lecturer with a master's degree. She owns a car and a house in Mingya. Her parents also receive pensions. Because her own conditions are pretty good, she had high standards when choosing a marriage partner. She required the man to be over 1.8 meters tall, with an annual income of about 500,000 yuan, $67,500. His parents couldn't be working in government institutions. The house had to be fully paid for, and he also needed high emotional intelligence. Because of these standards, she went on blind dates for many years, but never found a suitable partner. By the time she turned 35, she realized that the men she was interested in mostly chose goddesses under the age of 30. Some didn't even want to meet her. When she reached 40, she still hadn't found a boyfriend. During one Lunar New Year trip home, she suddenly realized that during the holiday, she was eating with only her parents. Her former friends had all settled down, and it was hard to get together with them again. She understood deep inside that if she didn't get married soon, after her parents passed away, life would surely be lonely. So she began to lower her standards. She just wanted to find someone who could live a stable life with her and get married. Later, someone introduced her to a 51-year-old senior bank executive. His annual income was also around 500,000 yuan, $67,500. His car and house were fully paid for. His parents also had pensions. And so at the age of 43, she finally got married. However, the man was divorced and had a son currently in college. The child was about to face issues like job hunting, buying a house, and getting married. So she could only become the child's stepmother. After all, at her current age, pregnancy would carry great risks. She only hoped that when she gets old, the child would treat her well. She used to often sigh that if she could go back in time to when she was 25, she would definitely accept that senior who pursued her during college. After all, her own circumstances were not so mature back then, I think. The final outcome for older leftover women is either enduring the deep loneliness after their parents pass away, or living the rest of their life alone without children, or choosing to be someone else's child's stepmother. If both of these endings are hard to accept, then it's best to resolve one's personal issues while still young. After all, this is a very important life matter.
40多岁
Why would a middle-aged man in his 40s, with a brief marriage history, reject a never-married girl who's more than 10 years younger than him? Isn't it true that the younger the girl, the happier the man? Last time at our matchmaking event, it's been about a week since then. Recently, I've been following up with guests who attended the event to see how effective it was for them. Today, I followed up with a 42-year-old male guest with a brief marriage history, a bachelor's degree. He works in tech R&D at a company with an annual income of over 300,000 yuan, $40,500. I asked him how the event went, whether he's seeing someone now. He said that he was on a business trip that day, so his profile was just displayed on site, and he waited for girls to reach out to him. A few girls did take the initiative to contact him, but one of them was more than 10 years younger than him, and clearly not a good match, so he rejected her. I got a bit curious. I said, "Don't all men like younger girls? Why did you think it was a bad match?" He said, "Sister, I looked at her detailed profile. She only has a junior college degree, works as a regular office clerk, monthly income of 5,000 yuan, $675. She's 14 or 15 years younger than me. Actually, I don't really mind her job or education level. After all, I can fully support a household on my own." But I looked at her self-introduction. She wrote her hobbies as travel and photography. That's where I paused. In my opinion, a hobby should be something you're good at, something others aren't necessarily good at. That's what makes it a personal interest. But how can travel be considered a skill? Let's be honest, it's just going out to have fun and spend money. Loving to go out and take pretty pictures. It's all about enjoying life and spending money. Isn't that just going out to party? Plus her income. She makes 5,000 yuan, $675 a month, with that kind of hobby. Do her interests and income even match? Listing travel as a hobby when dating, what does that imply? If I accept her, wouldn't I also have to accept this kind of hobby? What's more, I have a marriage history. She's never been married. There's a big age gap between us. So if we got married, wouldn't I have to be even more tolerant of her? I'd have to not lower her quality of life, but actually raise it significantly. If she's with me, and I can't improve her quality of life, then as someone who's never been married, why would she pick someone 14 or 15 years older with a marriage history? What's her real reason for wanting to be with me?
没钱
9999999. Video 9. If you don't have money, you'd rather not marry. If you do have money, then go marry a girl born after 2000. Women over 30 who are divorced are all old hags. Specifically those who have been divorced for more than 3 years. They're tough and hard to chew, impossible to soften, impossible to bite through. They are unyielding, stubborn beyond repair. Single women over 30 are the ones who have been struck by many men, yet still remain unchanged and emerge victorious. In her heart, there's no such thing as family, friendship, or love, only disgust, only interests and demands. If you marry her, all you'll get is kidneys burned out, money evaporated, and tears streaming down your face.
单身的女孩
Older single women all have the fate of being walking treasure chests. They naturally attract wealth. When they get old, they don't have to worry about money. But you have to find the right key. 3 things. First, don't lower your standards when looking for a partner. The real reason you can't find someone is because you're rising too fast and have left your original social circle. You've stepped up a level in destiny. For example, through studying, working, or moving to a new city or social circle. You only know a few people, so naturally it's hard to find someone. This is the key moment to rewrite your fate. Don't downgrade or settle, because the right person will never be found by lowering your standards. People who find dating difficult are usually very capable in their careers and will have very good development ahead. For people like you, love is not something to chase. You're just not wired for that. Some people are born butterflies. Some people are born flowers. The only thing you need to do is work hard to live your life well. The right person will definitely come. When they do, just don't push them away. Second, don't look for a relationship during your low point. Make sure to put on your crystal shoes before going to find your prince. Otherwise, it won't end well. People only love you for your value, and that value must be visible. When you're at your lowest, your perceived value is also the lowest. The ones who reach for you then are like kids picking up trash. Take this advice seriously. No matter when, girls should never look ragged. Put on your lipstick before going out, okay? The most reliable way to find a partner. Let me tell you. 90% of the happy marriages around me came from this one path. It's finding someone among your colleagues or classmates, the one you can talk to. The HR already screened you both. Based on resumes and backgrounds, you're quite similar. This means, at least at this moment, you're in the same circle. Better than your old social circle, and far better than the messy people you meet at nightclubs. If there's really no one that appeals to you, it probably means it's time to change jobs. In short, go with the flow. The right person and the right thing will become the key to your treasure chest. If you can't get a partner, then work hard to get money in your pocket. It gives more security than anything else. I am exactly that so-called older leftover woman you talk about. Born within the 3rd ring road, living outside the 5th ring road. I have a car, a house, and a stable job. If it weren't for work, I probably wouldn't see the sun before noon each day. Even the kitchen hasn't seen me in 3 days. The person I see most every day is probably the food delivery guy. The only motivation that gets me out of bed might just be making money. Earning money alone, spending money alone. Buy whatever I want, go wherever I want. No one can control me. I take care of myself, take care of the ones who gave birth to me. No mortgage, no car loan. My parents are healthy. No pressure at all. You all must think this kind of life is way too comfortable, but the loneliness of reality, maybe only I can truly feel it. Wondering if it's okay to marry an older single woman? Online, everyone advises against marrying older single women, saying they come with a lot of problems. But I'm not young anymore, and if I want someone around my age, it can only be an older single woman. Bro, let's fix that first. If someone is older and still unmarried, let's not call them leftover men or leftover women. Let's just say older singles, calling them leftovers. Makes me think of the afternoon wet market, where the vegetables have been picked over all day and what's left is unwanted. That sounds so miserable. But in reality, many older singles haven't even been through the market picking process. So your real question should be, can you marry an older single woman? And the answer is, of course you can. Because many of these older single women are actually quite suitable for marriage. Think about it. They have savings, income, they're mature in their thinking, know how to respect others, have a gentle and calm temperament, know how to enjoy life and have life experience. They're grounded and practical. It's just that, they're hard to find. Just like they also find it hard to find someone like you. Because often, it's simply due to a lack of available men around them, or because they're introverted, or just unlucky. Or maybe they simply don't want to look, so they're single because they haven't had access to the opposite sex. That's why it's hard for you to meet them. You need some luck. As of 2023, China has over 239 million adults living single, with women over the age of 30 making up an increasingly large proportion. Many of them are well-educated, financially independent, and possess admirable personal qualities. Yet paradoxically, they are finding it increasingly difficult to meet a suitable man for marriage. Part of the reason lies in social prejudice. Society labels unmarried women over 30 as leftover women, treating them like unsold goods at the end of a market day. Many men also carry that bias, believing that the older a woman is, the less valuable she becomes, regardless of her talent or character. But we also can't deny that a segment of modern women focus too much on wealth and appearances. They set high standards for housing, income, cars, and even height. forgetting that marriage is meant to be a partnership built on companionship and mutual growth, not a transaction for comfort and convenience. Love, marriage, and family can never be truly stable if built only on money, luxury, or looks. What matters most is genuine affection, respect, care, and mutual understanding. Only when both men and women value character and keep cultivating their personal morals can they build a relationship that is solid and lasting. We don't marry just to enjoy material comfort, we marry to build a meaningful life together. A real home begins with empathy and shared values, not with the superficial checklists society imposes. What about you? What do you think about the social stigma against single women over 30? Do you believe true happiness comes from empathy and sincerity, not from luxury homes and flashy status? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories and perspectives. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help spread more positive values in love and marriage. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.